If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs.
I'm thinking holy or even discipline for this. Not necessarily, even though the kind of texture goes for shadow, but we're thinking holy discipline here. The shoulders Castle Nathria, Sire Denathrius. I think it also drops from a few other sources, but that's the best source. Valorous Robe of Sanctification, that would be Ulduar. That's the place. Yogg Saron, 10% on the drop rate for that priest tier. This looks pretty darn epic right here, I gotta say. Castle Nathria once again on the belt for the Shade Warped Sash. Artificer Zymox is the boss. Pretty decent drop rate on that belt. Moving on to the back piece, which is from Bastion. You gotta be Kyrian. Kyrian piece, I was gonna say Kyrian piece. That Kyrian piece isn't far-fetched if you are a priest. Anyway, moving on, we have an undead priest showing the Cold Step sandals, which you could pick up from your time-walking vendor. That's an easy get right there. I love that look. Looks pretty darn cool. Yeah, I kind of wish the jewel on the headpiece, one is blue, which works. The other is purple, which sort of doesn't work, but I like it nonetheless. Overall, it works. The hands, Castle Nathria. So essentially, the belt, the shoulders, and the gloves are all Castle Nathria. The headpiece, Flare-Eyed Hood, that would be Blackrock Foundry Mythic. Gruul is the boss, 22% on the drop rate. That, of course, is from Warlords of Draenor. Hey, I said it right instead of Drain All the Fun. The weapon, of course, is Dragon Soul LFR. That's where you get the staff, Element Fragment. Great drop rate. Most definitely shooting for a Shadow Priest look here. Mantle of Closed Doors, Firelands Heroic, Balrog is the boss, 15% on the drop rate. For that recolor of a mage tier from, of course, Cata. Next up, the chest brings us to Castle Nathria. Stone Legion Generals will give up that robe if you kind of force it away from them. Nice looking robe. I really, really like the look with this set. Goes very well. The belt is the mana-infused sash, Nyaloth of the Waking City. I think I made a boo-boo. I think that's Mythic version, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is, so just keep that in mind. Next up is the back, which is the crest of the Legionnaire General. Castle Nathria, once again, Stone Legion Generals, 10% on the drop rate for the back piece. Moving on, we're going to hook you up with the feet, Spider Silk Boots, vanilla level tailoring. Check your local tailor, check your local auction house. That's pretty easy get right there. Next up are the hands, which is part of the same tier set. 4 mages from Cata, recolored for priest tier, Firelands Heroic, Fingers of Incineration, Ragnaros drops at kind of fair drop rate. Next up, we have a Zandalari Lady showing the headpiece. Yes, Nyalotha Waking City Mythic. Keep in mind that belt is Mythic, not regular version, made a mistake. So the head and the belt, Nyalotha Mythic. Next up is the weapon. Yes, using the same weapon as the previous set, but this one is Dragon Soul Heroic. I think this works for all 3 pre-specs, quite honestly. The shoulders are Hydraxian Mantle, which you could pull from Isle Expeditions. Check your local auction house as well. That'll be good, getting cheaper and cheaper as we progress into Shadowlands. The chest, Robes of the Arcane Ultimatum. That would be Highmaul. Chilgal is the boss, 22% on the drop rate. So we have 2 very gettable pieces. The belt is the Nighthold, another pretty easy piece to pick up with a decent drop rate, Antiquated Highborn Cinch. It has a lot of lookalikes on that, so check Wowhead for that. You might find something that could be a substitute till you get what works in a very, very square peg, square hole manner. Blades Edge Mountains or the Shadow Moon Valley, various mobs to get those feet that you can't see on an undead. The hands, part of the same drop set from BFA, Isle Expeditions, or the auction house, same as the shoulders, by the way. Do a spin showing the cloak, which of course we bring you right now, which is a quest reward, World Quest Cash, Drusvar, House of Noble's Cape. So that's Alliance only, but there is a Horde piece that you can get that drops from a rare that you can take out in Drusvar. The head, Dreadful Gladiator's Mooncloth Helm, of course from your MOP PvP vendor. And the weapon, is the Phoenix Fire Staff. As you can see, part of a tier from BFA. Pretty easy get up piece. For the wannabe red priests or priestesses out there, yeah, this works really well. Of course, we're inspired by Game of Thrones with this particular set. Throne of Thunder Heroic in order to get those shoulders, which are Warlock shoulders. So this also works for Fire Mages. This also would work for Warlocks. So we have a lot of flexibility with this particular set. Death Speaker's Tunic, Tarokar Forest, that is the BC version, keep that in mind. The Strife Riddled Cinch, Tomb of Sargeras, Maiden of Vigilance, 5% on the drop rate for that particular belt. Really goes well with this set, by the way, gotta say. The legs are Zulaman, which of course is a dungeon from Cata, which was a reworked raid, I believe from Vanilla or BC, not sure which. Now we have a Magthar Orc showing, or regular Orc, either way. I guess we could flip a coin as to who he is, doing the spin, showing the cape, which goes really well, and that'll be a fun cape to pick up, which we'll get to in a second. But first, the hands. Throne of Thunder Heroic, Duramu the Forgotten, but he doesn't forget to give you this cape if you put the pressure on him. Actually, the hands, or the cape is next. I got that cape on my mind. If you really want to stick it to a BM Hunter, go take out the rare in Sholazar Basin and try and get the cape. Otherwise, I think you can buy it on the auction house, not 100% sure. Bloodwoven Mask, Zul Farak, various mobs, auction house to get that. The weapon, of course, is also a Dragon Soul piece. That's where you get the staff. For this set, you're going to have to be part of the Venthyr Covenant, which of course is in Revendreth. Those shoulders are part of the Venthyr campaign rep and renown in order to pick those up. And it's not far-fetched to be a Venthyr priest because I think, you know, Mind Games is a really, really good ability. The chest, of course, is the Burning Throne, LFR version. Fellhounds of Sargeras drop the chest. The belt is Tyrannical Gladiator's Cord of Accuracy. That is an Alliance-only piece. It's interesting, all the PvP pieces in MoB work for both factions except for the Tyrannical set, which is kind of faction-specific. The back is pretty simple, dark leather cloak. Vanilla level tailoring, or I'm sorry, leatherworking would be correct. Leatherworker auction house, or basically, yeah, get your buddy to make it. That's pretty easy to pick up. Cold Step Sandals, Time Walking Vendor, only 25. Time Warp Badges, that's an easy pickup. I think you only need to do 1 or 2 Time Walking Dungeons to get enough currency for that. Revendreth on the hands, but you can also go with some hands from, I think, forgot one of the Battle of Dazalahar. The hand pieces will also go with this set if you want. Blink Trigger Headgun, Legion level engineering, check your local engineer, check your local auction house. Goes really well with this set. And Malevolence, love that piece from Bastion of Twilight, Halphus Wormbreaker. Did a few versions of this in the past, and I think it's a classic for Priest overall because it goes for all 3 specs. Town long steps to get those shoulders. That would be the Shadow Panasol Quartermaster, 1,000 gold. You might have to have a certain amount of reputation. I don't think that you need Exalted, maybe Revered, I think, to get those shoulders. The chest, Robe of the Waking Nightmare, Ice Crown Citadel, normal 25 man, looking epic here on a Worgen. Abandoned Zandalari Fire Cord, Throne of Thunder, various mobs, basically a fair drop. In order to get that Zandalari, Throne of Thunder is always nice to do. A lot of cool mounts, a lot of cool pets to get over there, plus good transmog stuff. Netherweave boots, super easy pickup, which you obviously can't see on a Worgen or even a Draenei, but they're just gray boots and they work really well with this set. Dalaran is the place to get the gloves of False Gestures, which is the gloves that match the tier with the robe very easily. Gilded Thorian Cloak, of course, making an appearance. Karazhan BC, Terrestrial Nilhof, and a 17% drop rate on that cloak. Definitely worth getting. Now we're hooking you up with an orc in the headpiece. Adventurer's Excellent Circlet, actually, High Mountain. And the offhand is High Mall, basically Kargath Blade Fist drops that piece, and the final piece is a weapon, which is Illidan Stormrage from the Black Temple. That's the dagger. My name is Luxeley. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and leave you with one final thought, a good thought, which is whatever it is by you, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night, make your day up.